Hello, and welcome to Talking Tennessee,
where we navigate life's twists, real estate turns, and we share Southern stories.
We are your hosts. I'm Rachel Odom.
And I am a very tired Brittany Hobson.
Yeah, that's how you are.
It was a long weekend. Motel Madness. I mentioned that last week. I had several high school boys at my house. It's always a fun weekend, but it's a long weekend, and I did not get much sleep. So
I didn't figure you would, to be honest.
No, and I had to be up early for an early meeting this morning, so I am running on fumes.
Yeah.
If I was like you, I would drink a bunch of coffee right now, but
You should.
I still hate coffee.
It's just sad.
I know.
When's the last time you've tried coffee?
It's not been that long ago. Like, I love the smell of coffee.
Yes, that's
But I
where
hate
I
it.
started. And I will say I had to start with a lot of creamer, but I've worked my way down to where I don't want it to taste like creamer. I want it to taste like coffee.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
Okay.
I mean,
Be deprived.
I know. I live a sad life.
Yeah, sounds like you do.
Sad, no football, no coffee.
Nothing you love.
I know. No. So, who's your phone service through?
Actually, mine's through Spectrum. So, like, my
Okay.
internet and phone are,
Through Spectrum.
yeah. And so, supposedly, the way it works is they bounce off of
Verizon.
all the towers.
Okay.
A bunch of them. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
But I did hear about the fiasco.
it was a fiasco last week. I don't know how many of you all had AT&T last week. So, myself and my family have AT&T.
How long was it out for? Like the whole day?
It was out for several hours.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I've only been on AT&T for 4 months.
Okay.
And I was on Verizon for years. And I was over the drop calls and the horrible customer service.
Yeah.
So, not having service, you've never, like, you know this, I'm a phone call person versus a texter.
Yeah, you had to
like,
text everybody.
I am not a texter. I just would rather call. Like, I don't know, but I've never wanted to call somebody so much as that day.
Then when you couldn't.
When I couldn't.
That's so funny.
Thankfully, because I am an Apple user,
Yeah.
if I was on Wi-Fi, I could
Yes.
still text or do some, some calling. But, so that leads me to like, okay, what do we do if communication truly goes down? Like, how do we survive? Like,
We don't.
everything is on
I don't
our phones.
think we do. Yeah.
Like, how do we do it?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, they said that if you had an actual emergency and you had a newer, I guess it was either Android or iPhone, I'm not sure, you could call 911 and it would go through. That's what they were claiming.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true. But I'm not like, I know some people who were like, you know what that was, right? And the conspiracy of it all.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the conspiracy.
And I'm not going to say that, like, I don't believe in all the conspiracies.
Yeah.
But I do think there are some conspiracies that I'm like, that's just not coincidence,
Right.
Like, there's been a few things that I believe they're not telling us all the truth.
Yeah. I
for
definitely
sure.
think there's some things that we do not know the truth on. I don't know if last week's was really
Well,
a conspiracy or
I
not.
know they said it was a hack, but I actually don't know. Like, people have said it was a hack, but I
Right.
don't know what the statement of what it was, or if there has been one. I've like not followed it since that day.
Yeah.
So have they said what caused it?
No, I think I saw an email come through, but I'll be honest, I get so many emails.
Yeah.
I just don't even.
Yeah. I only pay attention to them if I know they're important. Otherwise, I do not read it.
Yeah. No,
So,
but
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
like, man, how do you survive without a phone now?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't think I would do very good, to be honest.
No.
Like, I would not.
Girl, what would you do if you only had a landline and you could only call somebody?
You ain't gonna hear from me.
Carrier pigeon, I guess.
I guess so. Text a pigeon and be like, take this over there. Maybe fax. You could fax me.
Fax you.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Or I'd get a pager. because I don't want to
Then
talk
you would
on
have
the
to
phone
call
every
back.
time.
Like I would have to come up with a code to
Yeah,
text
so we
Rachel.
knew
Like,
what it was.
no, she's done better about answering my calls and
I answer calls that I know are important.
I know, and I've done better about trying to text.
Yeah.
When I can.
Yes.
I am trying to be better about not texting and driving.
Yeah.
Especially having a 15-year-old that's going to be driving soon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to set a better example.
Yeah.
I will still say I fail miserably.
I mean, I do too. But I do pretty good. Like, if I get a phone call, my phone's connected to my car.
Yes.
So I just talk hands-free.
And I do that too.
But I do every now and then. I'm like,
yeah. And I do have a little mount, that...
Yeah.
And I've tried to do some Siri texting, and most of the time it goes through good. But sometimes I'm like, that made no sense.
Yeah. She does her best.
She tries.
Siri does,
She tries.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple of new restaurants coming in on your end of town.
Yes, and
Everything's on your end of town.
So I was going to say, that is one thing that I do love about my end of town. It is, so we were going to Aubrey's the other day, and I noticed over there that little shopping center where Crumble's going to be.
Yes.
There is a Senor Jalapeno, which is Mexican.
Okay.
And then there's a Basil Indian restaurant, which I think I've not heard of either of these. So I don't know if these are like small chains.
Did you say Mexican or Indian? I thought it was Indian.
Mexican is the Senor Jalapeno. Basil is the Indian.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I love Indian food.
I know. I'm like, you.
My husband does not. I've made.
I'll meet Spencer and we'll go eat Mexican. You can get your Indian.
Which I love Mexican too.
Yeah.
But anything new for me is exciting. But I really do enjoy. Honestly, my least favorite cuisine, if you want to call it that, is American food. I'm not. I like it fine. I'm not a fan.
People.
I know.
Come and get her.
Like, I could survive off of
this partnership
Asian,
is now over.
Chinese, Japanese, probably the rest of my life. Whereas, what I consider American, especially in the South, like roast beef, meatloaf, those type of things, I like them fine.
Those are amazing.
But they're not my favorite. So, I could live without them.
Guys, I need a new host.
Spencer is the same way.
Yeah.
He loves Southern food with all the carbs, all the fat, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
And it's just not my favorite.
So if you could pick one food item to eat, and that's the only thing that you could eat for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
It's hard. I love sushi.
I do not love sushi.
I love sushi.
For anyone who is not watching the video, my face is not pretty.
I would probably go with probably teriyaki chicken.
Okay.
Or I love pad thai. I love that.
Okay.
So anything that has a fried or a white rice or a rice noodle, that's up my alley. So,
Okay.
if I had to survive on
rice,
I could.
a dish. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, if I was picking one food item, potatoes.
Potatoes are good.
Hands down. I'm a potato girl.
Well, you can do a lot with potatoes.
And that's what I'm saying. I could do a whole lot with
you
potatoes.
can.
And potatoes are my weakness. Give me some good mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Or a good baked potato.
Yes. French fry, tater tots.
There's so much.
You can't get wrong.
I feel like I wouldn't get bored with potatoes.
I could see that. I don't think I'd get bored with rice.
Really?
I really don't.
Oh, I would get bored with rice.
I would. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I love potatoes. Don't get me wrong. I do love potatoes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I will say, totally random. All I can still think of, you were telling me about is it Senor Jalapeno?
Yes.
That's coming?
Yes.
All I keep thinking in my head is jalapeno on a stick. Do you know who I'm talking about? Jeff Dunham, he's a
Oh,
comedian.
I didn't know who that is. But I don't think I've heard
jalapeno
that.
on a stick. Like, that's all I'm going to think of. Like, I'm going to have to go home and, like,
You'll have
watch
to
his...
send it to me because I know who that is.
Yes.
But I've not seen that
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, I'll have to send you shit.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. I love good comedy.
Oh, me too.
I want to go to a good comedy. And I mean, and I get that some of the comedians are going to have some adult stuff in it or some, but like, I want to go to a good comedian that I'm not going to have to worry about like feeling like I'm leaving an X-rated.
Yeah, well, okay. Have you heard of Nate Bargatze?
No, I think you mentioned him
You
a
need
little
to look him up.
I
He's
do.
hilarious. He came to Knoxville
Yeah.
a couple months ago. I swear, he's so funny. I think you'd like his.
Yeah.
He has I think a couple of Netflix specials, but
Okay.
it may be Amazon Prime. I can't remember which one it's on, but super funny. And it's clean. I mean, your kids could watch it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all clean.
yeah. I'll have to check him out.
I mean, they might not find him funny because he is an adult, but literally they could watch it and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have
There's
to.
one more, I can't think of their names. There's a, if you look on Facebook, Dry Bar Comedy,
Okay.
that is all clean. Like, some of it might not be appropriate maybe for your younger
Right.
ones, but it's not cussing. Like, it is clean. And
Right.
most of their jokes are clean too, and they'd be fine.
Yeah.
But there's a few on there that are, not as clean. But there's another guy, his name is, his last name's Blue. Jeff? I don't think it's
I
Jeff.
don't know.
Anyways, he's very funny.
Okay.
But his normal stuff isn't clean, but if it's on Dry Bar, it's all clean.
Okay.
So you and your husband should watch it.
Yeah.
And then if it's clean, your kids could watch it because most of it probably will be fine for them to watch.
And I don't,
Especially
I don't mind
Skylar. I mean,
yeah, and I
it's-
don't mind some, but
Yeah.
there's some that are just really
yes,
like,
yes. And I love stand up. I think it's hilarious, but there are definitely ones that I cannot watch because it's
Yeah.
just
it's just too
every
much.
other word is something terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nate Bargatze is clean and very funny, and Dry Bar Comedy has all kinds of different ones. So
I'll have to
look
check
into
it
those.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you like comedy, you like them.
Yeah. I love a good, I want a good comedy movie to come out. I feel like there's not been a good one.
No.
I watched Bridesmaids the other day.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's an older one,
yeah.
but it's a great one.
It's great.
So funny.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I think you'd definitely find some people on there that you like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. We know what time that is. So it is time for our real estate corner.
Yes.
So this is just the part of the show where we share a little bit of real estate tips or advice or just things going on in the market today in East Tennessee.
Yes.
As a self-employed person, tax season's not always the funnest.
No, I definitely wait till as pretty much the last day to file.
We are very good about, because my husband does work.
Yeah.
We do plan in his checks, so we put more back out of his taxes.
That's a good idea.
So we try to be a little strategic where we can at least get a little bit back sometimes.
Yeah.
I think really we should all try to, the goal should be to where we owe the government nothing and they owe us nothing.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, most Americans enjoy getting that large refund back. It's a way of saving.
Yeah.
And they can do trips or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But tax season's a great time for buyers or first-time home buyers to go ahead and make their purchases. I think that's part of the reason why the spring market tends to pick up.
Yes.
But my advice today would be, at some point in time in life, many Americans, myself included, at a time in my life, we get into debt or, we get something that hits our credit.
Yeah.
And in our head, like, our initial is like, I've got this extra couple $1,000s. I'm just going to pay this off. Mm-hmm. And that may be what you need to do. Mm-hmm. But there are times where lenders will tell you, don't pay that off. Like, keep, because everything can affect your credit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and if you don't have a lot of credit,
Yes.
that, credit card that you do have or whatever, like, yes, you want to pay it off. You do want to have a credit history to buy a house. So,
Yes.
just talk with
And if you're
somebody.
a Dave Ramsey fan, you probably are going to hate that whole segment of
yeah.
don't have a credit card, don't have a...
Well,
I like Dave Ramsey, but I don't love Dave Ramsey. Like, I love some of his beliefs and stuff, but I'm not going to eat cornbread and beans
every day for 3 years until you have no debt.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I will say, like, you're right. I do think that vehicle loans are what people get in trouble with and certain things. He does know what he's talking about there, but I don't
But
think
he
it's
actually
necessarily...
he actually has a real estate thing where he says buy a house, get a loan to buy,
Yeah. Well, because a house is an asset.
It is, and it's an investment.
Yes, and typically you're gonna make your money back or plus some.
Yeah, most of the time, I mean,
yeah,
I think if you buy a house, you're normally gonna get a return on your investment.
Yeah, whereas a vehicle, you're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the same way. I like some of his stuff, and I follow some of it, but
yeah,
not all of it.
And I'll say the market, I think, is heating up. I've got the house listed, in Morristown that's on some acreage. If you're looking for a house with some acreage in Morristown, we got it.
Pretty.
Yeah. Had several showings this weekend, so I'm hoping to get an offer soon on that.
Yeah, and I will say I've noticed that too. Like there was a house. It was a beautiful house. Somebody had it listed over on the lake. And it was not a cheap house. I mean, it was on the lake.
Yeah.
It was a newer house. I think it was $850.
Yeah.
Pending in a day.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Those lake houses, though.
I mean, they do.
So
and that one, to me, was one of the nicest ones I have seen. Mm-hmm. The lot was great. Mm-hmm. The house looked pretty. I didn't see the inside of it, but I sent it to my in-laws, and I was like, y'all need to buy this if you want a lake house, because they've talked about it before, but... I mean, it's just so fast.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it's going right now.
I know you've got a closing coming up from some clients you've worked with for a long time.
A long time.
Long time.
Several months.
Yeah.
10 months, 9 months, something like that.
Yeah.
So, my biggest thing right now is we found the house. There was a lot of things that they were looking for. And it did take some time to find it, because when you have specifics in mind, you don't want to compromise on that.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to. Sometimes you have to be, realistic, but what they were looking for was realistic. It's just hard to find. And so now I'm at the point where I want to make sure I get them the best, perfect closing gift.
Yeah.
We're closing next week. And I've done different things. Like, I've done drawings of the house. I've done gift cards to nice restaurants.
Yeah.
And everybody is always very nice. They always appreciate it. But I'm like, what's the best?
I don't know. I struggle with that too. I feel like I tend to do gift cards more than anything.
Yeah.
Over the years. I've done baskets. I've done, cleaning baskets. I've done plants. I've done...
Yeah.
I feel like I try to get to know the client and see what they enjoy. And a lot of times I end up going with sometimes a department store gift card, or a Lowe's or Home Depot gift card, if they know they're going to do some remodeling.
They are going to be doing some work on it. And I think he is too, but I know she is a big Tennessee fan. So I had actually found something really cool for all the Tennessee fans out there.
So you're giving it to me?
No.
Oh.
Maybe for something.
Maybe.
It is Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
That has been drawn.
Oh.
But the way that they drew it was scores from every game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they've taken it and wrote it. And I was like, that is super
That's cute.
Cool.
That is cool.
I don't know. My only thing was where will they put it? But I think they could find somewhere to put it.
My downstairs den.
Well, you can order yourself one.
I know. I will say, do they have the scores of the games from our dark years?
I mean, it's all the scores, so...
Yeah. I don't need those reminders.
Yeah.
It
was cool, though. Yeah. It was very cool. But then, that was my thing, is where will they put it? Which it's not very big.
Yeah.
So, you could find somewhere to put it.
If they're big Tennessee fans, I would love, if a realtor got me that. Like, they knew me enough to know,
Yes.
like, I loved.
And I'm this way with anything. I am very personable.
Yes, and I love that.
So I try to be very specific
Yes.
for all my gifts in general. And so that was kind of my thought process was, I don't know where they'll put it, but I know they'd like it.
Right.
So I might just have to try it and see. Hopefully they don't listen to this. Don't listen. They'll know what they're getting.
I know. So I've got a random fact for you.
I love your random facts.
I know, they're fun.
I know.
And I will say, this week I struggled with, like, which one do I want to share? Which one do I want to,
we can't get both?
Maybe. So, if we wanted to, we could. How long would you say the longest wedding veil has ever been?
They're up there, they're saying their vows. I mean, I've sat through an hour and that felt like forever.
No. The veil. The veil. Not the vows.
Oh, I thought you were saying the vows.
Yeah,
I was
sorry. The veil. Like, so
which one? Meghan Markle? Is that who married?
Oh, yeah. She had a long veil.
She did.
But
and I feel like
there was one longer.
Nick Jonas's wife.
I didn't even know he was married.
He is. I can't think of her name. She had a very long veil, I feel like, too. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say 40 feet.
Oh, no. It was nearly 23,000 feet.
What? 23,000 feet?
It was the same length as 63 and a half football fields. Like, number one, like, that's just ridiculous.
How did she hold that up? She did not hold that up with her head.
I think when I read, it said that it took over 6 hours to unroll her veil.
Golly.
Like, and I don't even know if it was, like, when I looked at the pictures, it wasn't even pretty. Like, was
is this
it just
real?
It is real.
Where was this from?
It's a Guinness book. It's a Guinness Book of World Records. Cyprus. She was from Cyprus.
Yeah. Because other countries do weddings a lot bigger than we do here. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But still, how did you even get it anywhere?
Could you imagine walking in it?
No,
like,
you couldn't
I feel like if you're going to set a world record for that, like, it needs to be a functioning veil.
Yeah, it has to actually go on your head. There's no way that she carried that with her head.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm very curious. Like, did she put that on and actually walk?
No, there's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
So she's disqualified.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give you my second random one. You know, a chef hat. You know the chef hat that's got the fold. Do you know what the folds in a chef hat mean?
No, I thought that's what made it stand up.
Well, so originally it was 100 folds. So the 100 folds in a chef's hat represents 100 ways to cook an egg.
What?
So, and I was thinking, like, oh, there's how many egg? Like, I feel like we're Bubba Gump, you know, from Forrest Gump, Bubba, you know, like all the shrimp, all the shrimp.
Yeah.
No, so it's like 100 recipes that contain an egg. So, like, I could see 100 recipes that have an egg.
Yeah.
So having a hat with 100 pleats meant you knew 100 recipes to prepare with an egg. The same applied for the hot. The taller it was, the more the chef knew.
Interesting.
And I think this was like, you know, back when they first came out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's very interesting.
I feel like, too, it should be 100 different ways to make an egg. Not just, I mean, I would probably come up with 100 things that have eggs in it.
I mean,
like, if you count, like, Eggs Benedict and all the different...
There's not 100 ways to fix an egg.
I feel like there could be.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
But
we
100
can make that
recipes with an egg or 100 recipes, like, revolving around an egg, I could see that. Maybe that's what it is.
We may make a short video and see who can come up with the most ways.
Well, I'm like, boiled, scrambled, over easy, over hard.
Yeah.
The hollandaise, the poached egg.
I just go Waffle House and cheesy eggs.
Waffle House is... I'm very hungry right now, so everything sounds good, but Waffle House is good.
Do not go grocery shopping.
No, I've already done it.
Okay.
I do wanna just eat whatever right now.
I get it.
But I definitely do love Waffle House though.
I could go for a waffle right now.
Yeah, and I like their hash browns.
Yeah.
So good.
I get it.
So greasy, so delicious.
Yeah. So winding down, you know, life life has punches. Life has roller coasters. You know, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. And sometimes there's great moments in life, and there's sometimes sad. You know, just like it's life. So I mean, it's a realm of things. Sometimes we get disappointed.
Yeah,
and
I
things
shouldn't
get,
be
and things
sitting
get
here
canceled.
right now, to be honest.
I know.
I should be on an airplane.
You should.
Headed to my dream vacation, which was actually supposed to be a work trip that I turned into a vacation,
Right.
but still, sadly, it was canceled.
I know.
I was gonna
I'm
be.
sorry. I mean, I'm glad you're here with me.
I mean, yeah,
But I was
yeah.
looking forward to
I know.
doing this
I know.
in another continent.
I know. That would have been a heck of a step for just 5 podcasts in.
I know.
Already taking it worldwide.
That's right.
Yeah. But hopefully it will be not. They said it was postponed. It feels a lot more like canceled to me.
Right.
But maybe like June or July. That they've said summer.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I might still be taking this podcast worldwide after all. We'll see.
Maybe.
I hope.
Maybe we just go travel worldwide and
there
just
you go.
make it. There we go. Tax write-off. With the podcast that we do not make money on, you know, that we don't even.
Yeah.
It's not even a business.
It's something.
It's something. I mean, we're doing it. We
Yeah.
hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah. We're talking about real estate too.
We do talk about real estate. Absolutely. Now,
Sounds like a tax write-off to me.
That is right. Yeah. But no.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Spencer did not want to tell me. He knew I was going to be so disappointed.
Yeah.
And of course I was, and I am. But, you know, I am hopeful that we'll either go with, if we don't go on his work trip, which will significantly save money because they're going to pay for part of it. I did tell him, I was like, I have always wanted to go. I got my hopes up. I definitely want to go. Let's plan on either going with work or going on a vacation. Yeah. So, you know, I think there are times where you can kind of, it depends on how you respond to the disappointment, I will say. And I have tried to do better in the years of trying to think through before I speak, because I was, of course, very disappointed. But it wasn't his fault, of course, and I didn't blame him. But he could tell. He was like, yeah, I know I didn't want to tell you. I knew you'd be sad. But yeah, sometimes there are things that happen that we have to process, and it is hard.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot harder things in life than that.
Oh,
but,
yeah. I mean, there is. But, you know, I think we as humans get so caught up in our own lives. And, I mean, I've been guilty of this. Like, you go to a store or you go somewhere and someone's just hateful or they're rude or they're whatever. And, like, I think our first instinct is to, like, call them out on that.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Like, we don't know what just happened back 5 minutes ago. Or we don't know what they're experiencing at home. And I think we forget about the stress of life. And we all have these high expectations to live the perfect life that social media so portrays us to live.
Yeah. True.
You know? Like, and I wish my life was as beautiful as social media might make it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but I feel like, you know, I feel like we're both pretty real in what we share and post on social media. We don't make it look like it's all sunshine and rainbows. You know, I mean, as a realtor, like, I've had months where I didn't have a closing, and then I've had months where, you know,
it's great.
I've had multiple closings. You know, I work. You know, we both work for what we do. Like, I mean, we push, and you know, we've both had clients where we've worked for a very, very long time that didn't buy. And
and those are always
those are hard.
I have had I've had one specific one who would take me to Greene County, then Hawkins County, then Hancock County.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you
gonna buy a house?
Gonna buy a house? And he did not buy a house.
Yeah.
And finally I was like, I don't think I can help you.
Right.
Because you've been looking for 3 years before he even met me. And obviously he was more just kind of looking, and that's fine, I guess. But you are, like, it is good to be considerate of somebody's. That's a lot of driving.
And I will say, like, if you were just wanting to look at a house because you like to look at houses and you're not buying, call that listing agent.
Yeah.
and go and look at that house.
Yeah.
Don't have somebody as a buyer's agent to go and show you 500 houses if you really don't plan on buying. Now, listen, if you're going to be buying in the future or near future, and I'll also say, I mean, not to go back to real estate, if you're planning on buying in 6 months, absolutely call me and I'll go show you a couple houses now.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you really only need to look at a couple now, and you need to wait, because more than likely the house that we look at today is not going to be available in 6 months.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to fall in love with a house
That they can't.
right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to have goals, and you can't just immediately buy or so. But yeah, I don't know. Just
Yeah. I think you're right, though. I think it is important to kind of realize that
you don't
social
know.
media can be very deceptive, and you don't always know what people are going through.
Yeah.
And I've actually experienced that a lot, where I'm working at Well Springs Counseling.
Yeah.
My mom knows the lady that owns it. And so last summer, she really has done a lot of work in the business model of it. So she's brought me in to learn how to do insurance billing and intakes and stuff. And, you know, we get a lot of phone calls from lots of different people on way different walks of life. But, you know, you don't know, and I don't know either. I mean, they're just calling me to make an appointment. But they're sometimes very open with
some people
a lot of information, and I'm like, I don't really need to know all that, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But it has really made me understand a lot more that people have gone through hard things in life.
Yes.
Everyone has gone through hard things in life.
And kids, you know, I worked in the public school system for a little while, and there are kids in our community that have had a rough life.
Yeah.
You know, I think
lots of trauma that you don't always
and I'm
know
so
about.
thankful, like, now we do make a point of making sure your mental health is taken care of. I feel like when I was a teenager, that was not. It
has been something, I feel like, even in just the past 10 years or so, that it's become a lot more talked about.
And I will say, on the other side of that, I don't want that to become an excuse for people. Like,
yes.
I feel like the COVID excuse, like, I hate that excuse. Like, I hate, like, COVID was, can you believe COVID was 4 years ago, people?
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
But, you know, sometimes in life we make mistakes and you just own up to it and you move on or whatever, but don't let your mental health be an excuse for everything. Yeah. Sometimes it will be.
Yeah.
I saw some sad news, you know, in town, and it involved, you know, a mental issue in Russellville, a murder, suicide.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Where have I been? I don't feel like I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean,
that is sad.
It's just off, you know. And people were just really shaming this person. I don't know them at all, and so my thoughts and prayers are with them. But, you know, I think it's important to check in on. I think we mentioned that with Robin Williams. Like, check in on your happy friends.
Yeah. You know? Well, and the other thing too is, and this is sometimes hard, but men sometimes are very hard to kind of get a read on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are definitely men who are struggling, and they have a harder time admitting it. And sometimes that's because we haven't done a good job of making them feel like they can.
Right.
But yeah, it amazes me to see all the different people with the different backgrounds and different stories. But yeah.
We got serious there for a minute.
I know.
I didn't mean to get so serious. Wow.
We can do it all, though, you know? We can do it all.
We are your random podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm undiagnosed ADHD. No. I'm like, I'm a squirrel, like, you know, but no, I love it. Well, we so enjoyed you all being back here.
Yes.
We are officially 5 weeks in and can't wait to be back next week, and weather is continuing to warm up. And
I know, loving it. Windows are down.
Yep.
Hope it stays.
Yep. Maybe, I think next week we'll talk some spring cleaning. So.
Yeah. I'll probably be doing some spring cleaning and projects. So.
Oh, good. Come to my house and show me.
Okay.
Do an example.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so we will see you all back here next week on
week 6.
Week
next
6.
week.
Yeah. Y'all have a great week.
Enjoy the sunny weather.
Yes. Bye, guys.